Hi there, I'm Josh Martin, and I'm here to talk about some emergent technology. I did a little bit of research. A lot of schools think that they're being innovative, but they might not always be doing so. This is from 2013, but you'll see that the technology that I want to talk about, 3D printing, they don't predict that it's going to become relevant for another 4 or 5 years. So that gets us to about 2017, 2018. I wanted to focus on this technology because this is a technology that allows students to be able to create. As George Couros would put it, it's a transformative technology. It allows students to build something, to make something, to do something. I also, I picked it. It is a big budget item, and I know there are lots of free resources out there, like virtual labs, like this Kim Collective is free. But I wanted to talk about this because it brings up another issue that we want to talk about. So first off, what is it? Um, you know, it's the ability for students to create 3D technology, to develop new tools, to make prototypes. Where is this going to get used? Currently at Plymouth High School, we use this in the Project Lead the Way and engineering department. I think that's the only 3D printer we have, but could it be used elsewhere? It could be in biology and anatomy, business, marketing, architecture, stage crew, construction courses. Really anywhere where students plan to build things and they need to create rapid prototypes, I think a 3D printer would have a place. Um, so, what are the issues that come along with 3D printing? And this site never really talks about them, but if we talk about some of the things that need to be on an administrator's radar, number one, digital citizenship issues. One thing I like about the 3D printer is digital citizenship issues. I think they're few and far between. Students aren't out in digital spaces where there's forums, where there's space where they could bully, where they could be doing things to affect their digital footprint. We don't have privacy issues and those kind of things because it's a piece of technology that sits in the classroom and gets utilized there rather than out in digital space. Now, what's the big issue that does come along with it? It's the big issue is funding. Um, Now, and I would say, along with that is, once it is being used in the classroom, responsible use would be important because if students are wasting materials or if they're building 3D replicas of inappropriate images or things like that, that's going to become problematic. It's wasteful of the school resources and whatnot. And I think that would be something that would be addressed in any course where students are going to be using these things, and that you would hope that the instructors in these courses would be aware anytime that the print button was going to be pushed, what exact kind of prototype would be coming out, so those things wouldn't be wasted. Now, the funding is in regards to where is this going to come from? Thinking back to texts that help us wrap our mind around these issues, like Planning for Technology by Whitehead, Jensen, and Boschi. In Chapter 7, which is all about funding, they talk about some key things. Number one, the building leader needs to have responsible funding priorities. I think this all starts and suggested by them. It comes from a community driven, shared vision up front. So they're not just blindly spending money on a variety of possibly innovative technology items. We need to know, what kind of items can we get that will help students be globally competitive for the kind of jobs that are going to be out there in the marketplace. For example, at Plymouth High School, we have a partnership with Itamco, which is a business in our community that's a tooling and dyeing, and they have helped us set up a workshop on our campus with lathing, CNC machines, and they're helping us train their next generation of workers. And building partnerships like this is going to be huge. So, also on the administrator's radar is the idea of the pyramid of priorities. With at the top cost, and how do these items, how would a 3D printer fit into our cost and whatnot? What kind of hardware do we need? What kind of implementation is going to happen? Where do we implement? How do we implement? We also need to think about other courseware. Are there other texts? Is there other software that we need in order to be able to run and learn and use these kind of technologies? How is this going to impact the curriculum in the classes where this technology is being used? And then the philosophy of teachers. So, when the curriculum changes, when the hardware changes, the implementation changes, teachers' philosophy has to change. And a good administrator is going to have all of these things on his or her radar, and they're going to help teachers make these transitions and pay close attention to our technology priorities. If you've got any questions, it would be wonderful to hear from you. Or if you've got any feedback, if you're currently using this kind of technology in your school, how's it getting used? What are some really innovative projects that you're using? It's Josh Martin at plymouth.k12.in.us. Thanks a lot.